back to our commander and a new event. And we will get another Venom Strikes, and this is the really bad one. Venom's sinister plot greatly advances. Move the event track up by 2 and see the mission for the effects. Well, that hurt a lot. We have 2 effects we have to deal with. First, operating on both fronts. Venom fortifies their positions. Place 1 extra Venom support card under every Venom leader on the board to be used in the next combat against that leader. That's terrible. Alright, they all have their extra support under them. I left them sticking out the bottom a little bit because I tend to forget that those extra support are under there. I've had that happen in other scenarios. And the next effect, Venom initiates a multi-pronged attack on Freedom Squadron's back lines, hitting where they are least expected. Reveal 1 Venom support card from the deck per player. Each player must retire a card from their hand or discard pile matching each type of support shown. Discard the revealed Venom support. Wow, so we're going to lose 2 cards each. That is going to cripple our non-commander player, who will be down to, I think, 6 cards after this. So the first one is a vehicle and another vehicle. So 2 vehicles each of us have to discard. Well, hopefully I don't have 2 vehicles. It says we have to retire from our hand or discard pile. I have no discard pile, but unfortunately I have a vehicle in my hand. Avalanche will be retired. The commander has no vehicles showing, but he has a discard pile that has just the 1 vehicle in it. So the Trailblazer will be retired. We are in the recruitment phase. I could fortify, but I don't have any Venom support on anything yet, so I'm not worried about fortifying. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but we'll play our cards. Lynx will give us 3 recruit points. Our recruits will give us 2 each. That's 7. 2 more from the commandos will give us a total of 9. 9 will gain us either Tracker or Stretcher. And seeing that I need to rebuild my deck pretty fast, I'm going to leave Tracker on the board for the other player because that allows purchasing cards during the recruitment phase at a discount. So I'll take Stretcher. There are no open zones, so we must draw from the Venom support deck. This would be an excellent time to get another vehicle. And that is exactly what we did, the Hydra. And we don't have to put that on a zone. I looked at my commander's hand and I don't feel that I have anything strong enough to go after any of these Venom leaders yet, especially with that additional support they're going to get. That means every Venom leader is going to get a minimum of 4 support. And I would only be attacking with 7 dice. And after support, who knows what their health and defense would be, so I'm going to have to pass again. On combat, move into retirement. I don't think I want to retire anything yet. Let's refill here, and we'll get Preacher, a new card also. Preacher costs 9, gives 2 recruitment points, and has a combat value of 3. Teamwork during a tactical phase. If the active player's combat leader's strength is 2 or less, they may reveal the top card of their draw deck. If the revealed card is a soldier, give the combat leader an additional +3 and discard the revealed card. During the recruitment phase, I can draw 2 cards. Wow, that's nice. Get extra cards into my hand for an attack. I'll go ahead and discard everything. You have to shuffle to get a new hand. I end up with 3 recruits, Hollow Point, and Lynx. I think we might be getting close to being able to do an attack in one of those Arctic zones with the commander in the next turn, depending on how bad our event hits us.
We don't have to do the event phase, so the recruitment phase is on. I could fortify, but I only have Glacier down here, and I don't want to waste Glacier on a fortification, because during a tactical phase, he lowers the Venom leader's defense by 2, and if I go to an Arctic zone, it's going to lower it by 3, so I'm contemplating whether or not I want to make an attack. I don't have much in the way of support, though. Let me check out the teamwork on my Lynx card to see if it's worth giving it a shot. I don't think I'm going to level an attack with this player. I just don't have enough, and I was looking at my commander player, and I think I have a much better chance if I can keep Lynx to use as a combat leader, and using Hollow Point with support, I can go after one of those Arctic zones, depending on whether or not the event screws up my plans. We'll play our cards here. We don't have much in the way of purchase power. We only have 2, 4, 6, and that would be it. That's not very much. Maybe I need to go ahead and try an attack anyway. Or maybe it would be okay to have Glacier go and fortify one of those locations. That way, if I start drawing Venom support soldiers, I'll have a location with 4 combat strength on it that I can add Venom support cards to, and then worry about this player leveling the attack against the Venom leader. I will use Glacier to fortify Venom Island. I'll add that there, so now we have 4 there. So if we need to start adding cards, we can do it at that location. And that's really all I can do with 6 recruitment points. There's nothing here that I can purchase. The lowest one is 7. We're all full, so we need to draw a Venom support card to add. Maybe I'll get lucky once again and it'll be a vehicle. And we have another vehicle. Wow, am I lucky. This is ridiculous, but I'll take it. I'm not going to retire any of my recruits. There's nothing to refill, so we will discard and draw 3. I need to shuffle. Well, do I even need to shuffle? They're all the same, so I'll place 2 recruits there, and then that'll be my 1 card. 3 commandos and 2 recruits. That's going to give me almost no purchase power, but I can use this to fortify locations also. It looks like this player is going to be taking care of our fortification while the other player is doing all the attacks right now. I do have the secret access codes, which I could use to attack because it gives all my support soldiers +1 to attack. So if I went with one of the commandos as a leader with 2, had these 4 in support, and they all got +1, that would be 8, 9, 10 dice. So maybe this player can do an attack in the next turn. But this all depends on what our next event is. If it's a Venom Strikes, it'll pretty much end the game for us because of the way this particular scenario works. So we'll discard our current event, and we'll hope that this is not a red Venom Strikes. It is not. It's one of the new cards, Venom's Green Thumb. The Terranauts steal a top secret nitrogen fuel for Venom, but they accidentally discover that it grows plants to gigantic proportions. Venom plans to seed carnivorous plants around the world and spray them with the fuel, but Freedom Squadron lets the plants loose in the nest, tangling Venom up in their own plans. Global effect. During the tactical phase, any combat in an air zone, this round lowers the Venom leader's defense by 1. And maybe that'll be an opportunity to attack with our other player on their turn. We're in our recruitment phase. We have 2, 4, 6 recruitment points, 3 more for 9, and 3 more for 12. That's a nice draw as far as recruiting. Let's see who we can get. We can purchase anything we want because we have 12 points. We can only purchase 1. And I'm thinking about going after the War Maker because in the tactical phase, I can discard 1 Venom support card, doesn't matter what kind it is. And in the combat phase, add +2 to the rolled value of all combat dice. That is super, super powerful. No wonder it costs 11. And I am going to purchase that. We are at the beginning of the tactical phase, so we need to draw a card to possibly add to a location. And it is a soldier, so this time we will add it. And I'm glad we drew Roadhogs now, because it's not going to have its tactical phase ability, which would have been adding a health and a Venom support if we were to do an attack this turn. That would have really hurt, since they already have Venom support cards under them. They would have ended up with 5 or 6 support, depending on who we attacked. So this will go here, under Venom Island. And I'll turn it sideways to help me keep track of the overall situation or remind me that I already have some, or in this case just 1, Venom support card on Venom Island. I will launch an attack during this tactical phase. I was going to either go after Gorilla or Void. Their stats are almost the same, except Gorilla has 1 extra defense. compared to Void. And Void's power doesn't take place during the combat. That's that global effect on discarding. But Gorilla gets double the value of any Constrictor supporting, and a maximum of 2 support cards can be chosen to combat Gorilla. So I think going after Void is the easier target right now. Void starts with 3 health and 3 defense. I'm using Lynx as my combat leader. Hollow Point I'm going to use for her abilities here in the Arctic Zone. That'll help me get rid of 2 of the Venom support soldiers. So I'm hoping to draw soldiers and not vehicles. We've seen a lot of vehicles come by, so hopefully that means soldiers are due. We're only going to have 6 dice to attack with, so hopefully the health and defense don't go up much. And we'll have to be smart about any soldier cards we eliminate to help minimize that, because Void will get 4 support. We have to take a moment to see what support Venom is going to get, and it's going to be Storm Riders. That is a soldier, so we could eliminate this one. During the tactical phase, it will give +1 health. If your discard pile has 5 or more cards in it, add an additional health. My discard pile does not. Now we need to draw 3 more Venom support for Void. And that is another soldier, the Night Stars. Combat phase, re-roll 1 success. We're not in an air zone, so that will not take place. Another soldier, the Wasps. +1 defense during the tactical phase. +1 health for every Wasp revealed beyond the first. Hopefully the next one's not a Wasp. And finally, another soldier, the Pythons, give +1 to health. We can now apply Freedom support abilities, and we're going to be able to get rid of 2 of those Venom support soldiers because we are in an Arctic zone, so both of these will apply. I am only rolling 6 dice, so I do not want the Venom leader's health to go up, which is currently 3. So we'll eliminate the Storm Riders, and we will eliminate the Pythons, leaving us with the Night Stars and the Wasps. The Night Stars will cause us to reroll 1 success, and the Wasps will give a +1 to the Venom leader's defense. Not too bad considering we had to draw 4 Venom support. Void's defense gets bumped up to 4, so we're rolling 6 dice. We need 3 successes. I'd like to get 4, that way rerolling 1 won't lose it for us, and we need 4s or higher in order to have successes. We need 4s, 5s, and 6s. We need at least 3, but I'd like 4 successes. Well, we got 3, so we're going to have to re-roll 1 of those, thanks to the Night Stars. And we need a 4, 5, or 6 again. Yes, we got it. Void had 3 health, and we had 3 successes. So Void has been eliminated, so we don't have to worry about that discard problem anymore. And we will get the Sins of the Father. Documents recovered prove that Gorgon is Hollow Point's father, and she is suspended. She quits the squadron to find and destroy Gorgon, but in the end, Blindsight helps her come to terms with her heritage and even helps to reinstate her. Once per game, use this card to discard X cards, then draw X +1 cards from your draw deck. That will be really useful for the commander character because it has the bulk of our combat cards. At this time I will choose to retire one of my recruits, that way my other cards come up more often. We will refill the training ground and get another Bowser and Pit. There's 2 of them out there. Discard everything. Draw 5. Oh, we have enough. Ended up with 2 commandos, 2 recruits, and Stretcher. Not a very strong attacking draw, but I could use it to fortify. This player can go now and will only have 7 recruit points, which is enough to get Tracker, but we want to fortify that open zone, which will leave me with only 5 cards in my entire deck. But I think it's more important to hold on to that zone, so I'll take one of the commandos from my hand and fortify the Arctic stronghold. The rules state to play a card from your hand to fortify, so I don't believe that I can play it, put it on the table, get the recruitment points, and then place it up there because it would no longer be in my hand. Otherwise, I would play it, get my 7, recruit, and then fortify the open zone. That gives us control of 4 zones right now, and we are at 3 on the event track. If we hit 4 on the event track with this scenario, most likely we'll go to 5 pretty quick. Event 5 means we have to control at least 5 zones to win. If we control 7, we automatically win, but if we get to event 5 and we have control of 5, then we also win. So hopefully our next event draw is not a Venom Strikes, and it gives us a little more time to remove another Venom Leader and control 5 zones. I'll play the cards from my hand. It's only going to give me 6 recruit, which is not enough to purchase anything. We'll draw Venom Support to add, and it is a vehicle again. Very good. I don't believe I'd be able to attack. We have a commando, it would give us 2, and then 3 more dice for only a total of 5. I could use my secret codes to double that. For all freedom support, that would give me 6, 7, 8 dice. Let me think. Maybe if I go into one of the air zones, because of the current event, it may be possible. The only air zone we don't control is the Venom Air Dominator, and the Pitmaster is there. He's going to have my freedom support soldiers dice rounded down. I would have 6, which would take me down to 3, which is what I would be at if I didn't use secret access code. So maybe using that and still having 5 dice. If the Pitmaster doesn't gain a bunch of health, we have a chance. But even if we don't have a success, we will make him use the extra Venom support, and it'll be out of there for the next time we want to attack. The Pitmaster will start with 2 health and 3 defense. We have this global effect in the tactical phase that will lower the defense by 1. The Pitmaster's defense is down to 2. The Pitmaster will get 3 Venom support in addition to whatever is here. And that is the Roadhogs. That will bump his health up 1 and his support up another 1. That's not good. And that takes effect immediately because it says when drawn. So the Pitmaster's health is now 3, and we still have to draw 4 more Venom support. If Pitmaster's health ends up higher than 5, then we won't have any shot because he's going to take away some of our dice. Next we have the Ice Burster. Tactical phase, health +1. Awful. Next, Sidewinders. Discard 1 freedom support. Well, that pretty much ends it for us. Next we have Pythons, health +1. That, I think, makes it impossible now. And finally, the Sea Star, defense +1. Let's apply everything. The Roadhogs already took place when drawn. The Ice Burster will not get the Arctic ability, but it will add +1 health, taking the Pitmaster up to 4. The Sidewinders will cause us to discard 1 freedom support. And lucky for us, Void is gone. Otherwise, this would have been taken out of the game. The Pythons will add +1 health, taking Pitmaster up to 5. And the Sea Star will add +1 to defense, which will add another for a defense of 3 now. Pitmaster's tactical phase ability takes place after Venom support abilities have taken effect. So we'll have the total of 4 down to 2, which leaves us with only 4 dice. And a Venom Leader with 5 health means we cannot win. Since we cannot win, combat will not take place. So we'll just put these numbers back. We are not able to attack the Pitmaster. I am not retiring anyone. We'll discard all of the Venom support cards. We have nothing to refill in the training ground. Normally I would discard and redraw, but I only have 5 cards, so I know I'm only going to get 2 commandos and 3 recruits every turn until I can somehow purchase more cards. Next time I'll have 6, 7, 8, so I could purchase Tracker, so I'll save Tracker for this player's turn. We come to our commander, which means a new event will come out. And this hopefully is not a Venom Strikes. And it is not. It's one of the new cards. Venom has begun to capture people with psionic abilities from around the world to exploit their strange powers. When they end up capturing Checkpoint's strange daughter, the Carnage Corps leaps into action to foil their plans. Global effect during the tactical phase. After choosing a Venom leader, roll a die. 1 to 3. Replace the Venom leader with the next Venom leader in the Venom leader deck. 4 to 6. Combat occurs as normal. That could severely mess up our plans if we end up drawing something a lot more difficult than we thought. We'll head into the recruitment phase, and Stretcher gives us 6 recruitment points. The recruits give us 2 each, so we're already at 10. And here, 2 more will give us 12. We will save Tracker for the other player, and I'm going to take Rex for 10 here. During the tactical phase, I can choose 1 Venom support soldier, and all of that soldier's abilities that add health and defense are instead subtracted from the Venom leader. And all abilities that lower the combat leader's power instead add to the combat leader's power. All other abilities are ignored. So we will take Rex. I don't have a strong attacking hand, and I think I only have 1 card to draw, which means I'll get to shuffle and hopefully get something better, and maybe get some good teamwork cards over here that I can use to help this player make an attack. But first we have to draw another Venom support to add, and it is the Venom Troopers, so that is a soldier. And we'll add that to Venom Island, since we already have 4 Freedom support there. That's only 2 Venom cards, which makes us equal at all locations. We have 2 spots available at each one. We don't ever want it to equal, because then we have to discard everything and a Venom leader would go in that spot. I think I will retire another recruit to clean up my hand a little bit. Or to clean up my deck, that is. We will refill the training ground and get Striker, which costs 9. We will discard, draw our 1, and shuffle these. And I ended up with 2 recruits, a commando, Stretcher came back, and Hollow Point. Not much in the way of teamwork. Stretcher only helps to keep a Freedom Squadron soldier from retiring. We will play our commandos and recruits to get our 8 points and finally get another card in our hand, and that is Tracker. This is going to be a fast turn for this player because I have nothing to attack with. Well, I could attack, but it'd be pointless. And we will draw a vehicle, hopefully. No, the Roadhogs. Well, I'd rather get them now than later. We will add the Roadhogs here also at Venom Island. Now there are 3 there. We do not want to add a 4th unless we add more support. So we'll have to start adding things to other zones if needed. We will refill Freedom Squadron and have Selkie come out, and she only costs 5, so that's good for this player that's having trouble buying cards. We will shuffle all these together and draw from our deck of 6. And yes, I managed to get all 5 beginning cards again, and the card I just purchased is in my draw deck. That didn't work out the way I hoped. We will need a new event, and we will get... it's an All Is Quiet. Nice. When a Viper calls back. Inferno keeps getting phone calls with cryptic messages from a man who calls himself the Viper. The messages state that he will be arriving to wipe out Inferno sometime that day. Inferno quickly enlists the rest of Freedom Squadron to help him catch this mysterious man, who turned out to be the Vindo Viper, and merely offers his services. And that is your dad joke of the day. Just to make sure things do not get out of control, I will take a commando from my hand and fortify the underwater station. So we'll have more commandos there. And now we have another location with 4 combat strength to add Venom support soldiers to if necessary. We can play our cards. We get 2, 4, 6 more for 10, 3 for 13 total. I will purchase Preacher. That way I can use that teamwork ability if necessary to help out the other player. Because with such a small deck And knowing that he only has soldiers in his deck, that teamwork ability of a combat leader strength of 2 or less, I can reveal the top card of their draw deck, and if it's a soldier, it gives them +3. That would really be useful. Let's see what we're going to add. It is a soldier again, and we will add this one to the underwater station. That's our first one there. I think I'm going to give it a shot and go after Gorilla. Remember, I can only use 2 freedom support cards when attacking. Gorilla starts with 3 health and 4 defense. I'm going to use my Sins of the Father. It doesn't say any particular phase that it needs to be done. Once per game, use this card to discard X cards. Let me check and see if I have to do that from my hand or if I can discard cards I've already played. In the rulebook, it states discard is defined as any cards that are discarded are placed in a respective discard pile. A Freedom Squadron card owned by a player is discarded in that player's individual discard pile. I don't see anything in the rulebook that would stop me from doing it, so I'll discard these 3, and it says I can draw X +1, so I can draw 4 more, and we'll get a Recruit, Lynx, a Recruit, and Rex. This may be a little foolish, but I'm going to only go into combat with 3 dice. I'm hoping to use Hollow Point and Rex's abilities in this Arctic zone here to get rid of 2 support if they're soldiers, and here I can flip a soldier and have it take away health and defense. So I'm going to try and make go at it with just these 3 dice. It's foolish, but at least it'll get rid of this Venom support under here. And there we have Headhunters, tactical phase +1 defense. Lower the combat leader by 1 for every Venom leader you have captured. I can make them go away, or I could use it to lower the defense by 1, and then Rex cause all other abilities to be ignored so that other one wouldn't take effect. But he will get 3 more Venom support. And those are the Nighthawks. That is bad because when drawn, discard 1 freedom support card. Oh no. I don't think I can make that go away because that is when drawn and my tactical abilities haven't taken place yet. So my plan is being destroyed right now. I have to keep Hollow Point. So I'll discard Rex because she allows me to discard 2 of those Venom support soldiers, so I can get rid of the Headhunters and hopefully one other one comes up that I want to get rid of. But if the Venom leader's health goes up 1 more, that's it for us. That is the Headhunters again. That is bad news. And it basically comes down to this card here, which are Pythons that will add +1 to health, and that will do it. We will not be able to attack once everything takes effect. I would now apply Hollow Point's ability, and this is what hurt us. We really had a chance if Rex would have stayed, but now we do not, because I can only get rid of 2 cards, and if I get rid of both Headhunters, the Pythons will raise health to 4 and make it unwinnable. If I get rid of a Headhunter and a Python, defense will go up 1, and my combat leader's ability goes down by 1 because I have a captured Venom leader, which would give me only 2 dice against 3 health, so there is no way to win this. I don't have any teamwork from the other player that can help me, or any reward cards. The situation is unwinnable, so we will not do combat. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of another recruit in the retirement phase. I have plenty of purchasing points with the cards that I did purchase. To refill the training grounds, and we'll get Spirit. That's a new card that costs 6. 2 recruitment points, 5 attack strength. Wow. Teamwork, tactical phase. For every Venom support card discarded this turn, increase the active player's combat leader's strength by 1. Well, maybe we'll be purchasing her next. Discard our cards, draw 2, so we need to shuffle. I ended up with a Commando, 2 recruits, the Warmaker, and Preacher, and Preacher would be very useful if I wanted to teamwork with this player because it would allow me to draw that card and add +3 because I know it's a soldier card, which would make one of these commandos a combat strength of 5 going into a battle. Let's go ahead and get our recruitment points.
So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. That's enough to purchase one of these 2 cards here. And with a combat strength of 5, I'm definitely going for Spirit. Beginning of the tactical phase, we draw Headhunters, which is a soldier card. We will add them as the second one at the Venom Underwater Station. Since most of my strength is going to be in my combat leader, I'm going to go after the Pitmaster. And he doesn't have that extra support under him this time. Pitmaster starts with 2 health and 3 defense, and we'll get 3 support. I'm attacking with my Commando as the leader, and I have 4 support. We will take Preacher and use the Teamwork ability. If the active player's combat leader is 2 or less strength, which it is, I can reveal the top card of the draw deck, and if it's a soldier, and we know that it's a soldier, we can add +3 combat strength to the combat leader, which will give the Commando 3 more dice for a total of 5. And then we'll discard this card, which is fine. There's a chance that it'll come up again, because we're going to have to shuffle anyway. Now we'll draw our 3 Venom support to see if we have a chance. It is a set of Venom Troopers. Tactical phase, +1 health or +1 defense, whichever is lower. In this case, it's going to raise the health, I believe. Next, we have the Venom Glider. Lower the combat leader's strength by 2. Oh, and we're in the air, so the defense is going to go up too. That is a devastating card. And finally, the Pythons will increase health +1. I think we may be out of luck again. Actually, this addition of 3 would have occurred now after I drew those Venom support cards, but since it didn't change which cards we had here, it's okay that I did it out of order. Let's apply our Venom support. The Venom Troopers will add 1 to health, taking the health up to 3. The Venom Gliders are going to lower the combat leader's strength by 2, and since we're in an air zone, increase Pitmaster's defense by 1. We'll lose 2 of the strength we gained. Pitmaster's defense goes up to 4, and the Pythons will add another health, taking that up to 4 also. Next, the Pitmaster's ability kicks in. Have the total combat dice given by all Freedom Support soldiers rounded down. So I have 4. I'm going to lose 2, leaving with only 5 dice, so it still is possible, but not likely. Pitmaster has a health of 4, so we need 4 successes, which means we need 4s, 5s, and 6s, a whole bunch of them. What? Oh my goodness, I did not expect that. 2 4s, a 5, and 2 6s, all successes. That is amazing. What a wonderful surprise that was. Pitmaster is defeated, which means we get a reward of the Phantom Brigade. The Phantom Brigade. Freedom Squadron finds bayous that control several ancient ghosts that Hex summoned to fight for Venom. With these in hand, the squadron uses them to turn the tides of battle. Tactical phase once per game, use this card to double the final combat strength of your combat leader in combat this turn. And I don't know if that word is bayous. Let me look that up. Yeah, bayous doesn't make sense. I looked it up. It's bijou, which is a gem or a little trinket or something, and that makes sense. They find those little things that control several ancient ghosts, not bayous, which would be a big swampy area. I could have edited this out, but hey, we all make mistakes. That was really, really lucky. We have another zone open. Hopefully we can control it as long as the event coming up does not destroy that chance. To refill this with Tracker. So another copy of Tracker is available. I have no cards available to draw, so I'll have to shuffle my small amount of cards. Did much better this time. 2 recruits, a Commando, and Spirit and Tracker both are available. We're getting close to meeting victory conditions if we get up to event track number 5, but we need to draw another event, and another All Is Quiet would be great, but it is a Venom Strikes, which means we're in trouble. Venom's Sinister Plot advances. Move the event track up by 1 and see the mission for the effects. That will move us to Event 4. Event 4 on Assault on Liberty. Knowing their plan is near, Venom regroups for victory. Shuffle all non-active Venom Strikes cards back into the event deck, then draw 2 event cards. Oh no. All the non-active ones are here. So we're going to shuffle in 1, 2 of them. Here we go. If we draw another Venom Strike card, we lose the game. If not, we keep going, and I don't know for sure if I have to apply all of these effects or not. Oh, well, the very first one is a Venom Strikes. And I imagine I do have to apply all the effects as they come up, which would cause our event track to go to 5. And looking at event number 5, if Freedom Squadron has at least 5 zones occupied, then Venom has been unsuccessful in gaining the foothold they need to complete their plans, and Freedom Squadron wins. Anything less, and Venom surely will rebuild and be stronger for their battle, which means we will lose. We gained control of 4 zones. There's an empty one here, and if that didn't come up, I was going to fortify my 5th one with this commando, and then if that came up on the next player's turn, or not the next player's turn, the next commander's turn, and we got the event and we made it to event number 5, we would have had control of all 5. That was not bad at all, though. I came really close to securing a win here, just barely lost, and that was playing with a player over here whose deck was depleted quite rapidly. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough of the prototype for Venom Assault Villains in Valor expansion. This is a really fun deck builder. It makes it to my table quite a bit. I purchased this game last year at Dice Tower Con and have got a lot of plays out of it. I'm glad that there's an expansion that can add more content and more missions and a couple more mechanics with the teamwork option. And I really like this scenario where they weren't all full at the beginning and you added them as you went, and you're trying to fortify and work against the clock because that event track moved really fast. Hitting that double Venom Strikes really got me bad. And then hitting the 4th one right before I was going to secure my 5th zone. But that's the way it goes. It's still fun even when you lose. Head over to the Kickstarter page, show the creator some love, and I'll see you in my next video.